Kee Beach is one of the most beautiful places in the world. It is located at the end of the road on the north shore of Kauai. There is a beautiful lagoon here at Kee, right below the coastline. It is a gorgeous lagoon where the waves wash over a shallow reef and then flush out one little opening in the lagoon. Over the years, I've scuba dove and snorkeled this spot, and the reef was healthy and covered with coral. But now, 90% of the reef is completely dead. As you can see here, while I'm cruising along taking video, there's only a few of the rare blue rice corals left alive, and only a few other corals on this entire part of the reef. This part of the reef is almost 100% dead. Not only it's dead, that the actual reef itself is starting to crumble. Most of the fish on this reef have left this part of the lagoon. The entire lagoon is only about 40 yards wide and 20 yards from the shore out to the edge of the inside reef. So it's a very easy place for a marine biologist like myself to survey. Notice here how the water visibility is not very clear, and also there's a lot of algae growing on the reef where the coral used to grow. What is disturbing here is that when the coral dies, it actually is disintegrating and turning into mud. This is incredibly unique. As you can see right here, one of the blue rice corals is infected with a cyanobacterial disease and dying. It is one of the last remaining blue rice corals that was alive on this part of the lagoon. As you can see here, I'm snorkeling through the dead parts of the reef, and then also looking at the angles of the radar towers and the cliffs that are blocking some of the microwaves. Once I snorkel over to the far side of the lagoon, right underneath the very steep bluffs, then all of a sudden you see the reef much healthier. Why are these corals alive on this part of the lagoon and not on the other part? We feel that's because the steep bluff right there is blocking some of the microwave radar transmissions. This little wall, this little part of the reef at Kee, that's on the very far western side right below the bluffs, is still remarkably healthy. I counted over 1,000 live healthy corals along this stretch. But only 30 yards away, where the bluffs do not block the microwave transmissions, the reef is almost completely dead. This is very good scientific data trying to figure out and prove what is killing the reefs here on the north shore of Kauai. Now also notice, on the healthier part of the reef, there's many more fish, many more eels, a lot more coral, and a lot more marine life in general. That's because it's still a coral ecosystem on this part of the lagoon. A lot of these fish actually eat coral polyps, and they eat the weakened coral polyps, not the healthy ones. This makes room for new, healthier coral polyps to grow. On this side of the lagoon, where the coral is healthy, there are also hundreds of new baby corals. On the other side of the lagoon, where the corals are all dead, there's not any new growth of baby corals. There are 4 species of rice corals that are healthy on this side of the lagoon, including the once or soon to be protected blue rice coral. As I video this side of the lagoon, it becomes very clear to me that something really dramatic is happening with our reefs here in Kauai. Over and over, up and down the north shore of Kauai, when I snorkel in areas that are protected by these tall giant cliffs that come right down to the beach, the reefs are healthy. When I snorkel or dive on the more exposed part of the reef that's not blocking any radar transmissions, the reefs are dead. But the one thing that's quite interesting is all along the Nepali coastline, where there's not a lot of human activity, not much runoff, very little pollution and clear water, the reefs there are also dying in the areas where there's a direct impact from these microwave towers. Kee Lagoon here is visited by tens of thousands of people every year. They come to Kauai because they want to go snorkeling in the warm water and see a beautiful coral reef. This one little patch of live, healthy reef is not enough to support 100,000 snorkelers that come to Kauai every single summer.